After an exhausting day, all Sallie wanted was to get back home. The freezing winter night seems to become even harsher when she finally reaches her apartment and realizes that her keys are missing. Locked out and shivering in the cold, she thought her luck has run out. Until her new neighbor appears and kindly invites her into his apartment. A warm escape from the cold, or the beginning of something unexpected. Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and I bring you a visual novel. So, Town of Passion is not the only upload. Today we are going to play Locked Out by T. Just that. So I'm guessing it's like a first game in general by said person, given the fact that I don't see... Oh yeah, my first game Locked Out has been released. Yep, it is the first game. Alright, so we are going to have a look. Always good to look at first games of developers, of indie developers, to be fair. Let us begin. It's so freaking cold. I can't wait to get back home and take a long, hot shower. You really should have checked today's weather forecast. It was much colder than expected, and it had been snowing since late morning, covering the city in a white blanket. I can't wait for that, actually. Bring me the winter already. The regrets for your fashion choices hit you on the way home from work. Your sneakers were not made to walk in the snow. Yeah, sneakers are not for winter, that's for sure. Bad biatches don't get cold, your best friend would probably say. But at that moment, you certainly didn't feel like one of them. Human popsicle would suit you better. Luckily, we're almost back home. You could already see the small building where you lived. When you reach the stairs, you try to clean the soles of your shoes before going up. I guess I'm kind of reading this to Sallie, sort of. Ooh, nice. And this is kind of Japanese style building then, given the fact that there is like a corridor with a look to the outside. I like that. There were only 6 apartments in the building. Oh, interesting. 3 on the ground floor and 3 on the upper one. Your apartment was upstairs, the 202 in the middle. It wasn't a big place, but it was more than enough for you. The rent was great. It was a cold neighborhood. We enjoyed living there. And now, in this freezing night, it was your warm little piece of heaven. Huh? Where are they? When you opened your bag and reached for your keys, you couldn't find them. Pocket mirror, wallet, tissues, cereal bar, gel pens, empty hand sanitizer, bills from last week's groceries. Woman, you carry way too much in that bag. You don't need even that stuff. There was so much stuff inside your bag. No wonder you couldn't find what you needed. Come on! It did not feel good to have your hands out of the warm pockets of your jacket. Gloves, wear gloves. Pushing the unnecessary things aside, opening and closing zippers, checking the same places 3 times. No sign of the keys. A cold sensation hit your stomach. You tried to brush it off. That cannot be. Did I leave them at work? The thought of having to go all the way back to the bar where you worked at exhausted you. You just wanted to enter your home. You You took a deep breath. Panicking wouldn't help you.
Okay, think.
Stopping the search for a moment, you try to retrace your steps from the morning.
I've only opened this bag a few times today. I took my phone out, got my wallet to pay for lunch at the cafeteria. If something had fallen out of my bag, I'd probably have noticed it.
I mean, given that it's the keys, you probably even would hear that, so...
But if they're not here, then where? Where would they be?
Your eyes travel to your door, more specifically to your lock.
You've got to be freaking kidding me.
Dropping your bag down to the floor, you stopped. It was suddenly obvious. You knew why your keys weren't with you. They were still in the lock. Inside of the apartment. Wait, inside? What? Huh? But it would be open then. Earlier today you needed to run to not miss your first train. You had an important presentation for one of your classes and couldn't afford arriving late for it. So you unlocked the door, put on the shoes that stood outside and stormed out without looking back. The door slammed shut behind you, and in this rush you simply forgot to take the keys back from the lock before going away. Yeah, but it would... What? Am I living in some prehistoric time where it would not lock for you this way?
Shit, I can't believe it. How can I be this stupid?
You want to punch a wall. This situation could have been easily prevented. Your lack of attention made you furious at yourself. But a shiver running down your spine brought you back to reality. You needed to think of a solution, and quick! You could be mad at yourself later when you're not outside and freezing.
What now?
Your spare keys were also in your apartment. Somewhere in the drawer in your bedroom. Until that moment you had never used them or given them to someone you trusted. Another mistake. I mean, maybe you don't trust anyone, that's why. Huh. It was too late to call the landlord for help. You sure didn't want to disturb him at such a time, and he wouldn't be very nice to you if you did so.
Maybe the credit card trick?
Or maybe, I don't know, just freaking use that door. Oh, it's not a knob or... Oh. Okay, so maybe they do look like that. Who has handles to main door like this? Like, what? This is nuts. You remember hearing that you could try slipping a card in between the door and the frame to unlock it. Good luck.
That might help.
Getting your wallet, you grabbed a random old card that you no longer used. Screwing up your actual bank card for this was too risky. Correct approach.
Who would have thought that keeping junk like this in my wallet would come in handy one day?
Yeah. Like, I guess in my case that would be like a card for petrol stations. Do you have a card to get the points when, you know, when you add some fuel to the car and you pay? I'm like, sure, here's the card. Which I will never use the points from anyway, because you don't have anything interesting from the to redeem for those points. Anyway. My ramble.
But I definitely need to get rid of some old stuff.
And full of hope, you put the card in the gap.
Please work!
You moved it around with difficulty, trying to wiggle it, pushed it on it. You tried and tried. The card was even bent afterwards. The lock didn't budge for. It did nothing. Kind of as expected. A defeated sigh came from you. You knew the locks were good. After someone had tried to break into one of your neighbor's apartments a year ago, a landlord had made the building more secure. Ooh. It made you feel safer to live there, but ironically, now you found yourself wishing it was easier to break in. The only thing left to do seemed to be calling a locksmith.
That's going to be so damn expensive!
Taking your phone out, you did a quick search online. A few numbers came up. You decided to call the first one. Oof. I mean, I would not be surprised if I were not working at this hour. It rang and rang. No answer. So tried the second one.
Come on!
Apparently it didn't even exist anymore. But to your relief, the last number seemed to be available. It rang, and after a few long 10 seconds, someone picked up.
Ah!
You talked to a woman and briefly explained the situation. She said that there was a locksmith who could come to your place. But due to the bad weather and the fact that your apartment is basically on the other side of the town, it would take around an hour to an hour and a half for him to arrive.
Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your night. Likewise.
Hanging up the phone after arranging the service, you crouched down to the floor. Your hands were ice cold. The thought of waiting out there for so long sounded terrible. But where else would you go? The places that could be still open at that time were mostly in the city center. The shops nearby were already closed. Where do I know that problem from? Except for a small 24/7, nice to have that, convenience store that you didn't really like going to. The guy who worked the night shift there had a very weird vibe. The few times you went there after work to buy a snack, you regretted that. You were pretty sure he had already killed the man. Oh. Wondering if going to someone's place would be a viable option at the time, you thought of Mrs. Lima. She was one of the neighbors who lived downstairs, a lovely older lady who would definitely invite you to come in, even though it was so late.
If only she were home.
In winter, she would escape the cold and travel to the country where she was born and raised to visit some of the family who still lived there. Nice. While you were deep in the snow, it was warm enough to walk down the street in flip-flops and a short-sleeve shirt in her hometown. Damn, that's nice. And then again, I love winter. You are a little jealous as you thought about how nice it would be if it were warm right now. You also wish that your best friend lived closer to you. She would love to help you too, I'm sure.
Maybe I deserve this? It can only be some kind of punishment or...
Sallie! A familiar voice suddenly spoke up and caught your attention, bringing your dramatic moment. When you looked up and met his gaze, you recognized the young man standing there before you.
Kian!
What a name.
The new neighbor.
He'd been living in a building for around a month, in one of the apartments next to yours. He introduced himself to you and the other neighbors the week he arrived. Since then, you've met a few times in the hallway. Even though you hadn't talked much yet, he was always very nice. Too nice, maybe even. The serious expression he usually had on his face always changed to a sweet smile when he greeted you. Now though, his face showed a certain curiosity.
Hey!
Picking up your bag from the floor, you got back up. Even now, standing in front of him, he was much taller than you. You looked down to the closed plastic bag that he carried. It looked like garbage. He wants to throw the trash on time, blocking the way.
Sorry, let me move.
Taking a quick step to the side, you made way for him to walk through, but he remained in the same spot. No, it's all good. I just want to ask if everything's alright. The surprise of being approached in the hallway almost made you forget for a second why you were still outside your apartment, girl. You can't blame his confusion by seeing you crouched down in the middle of the hallway like that. Part of you didn't want to share what had happened, but you didn't have enough energy to come up with an excuse to explain your situation. So you just said it straight away.
I'm locked out.
She said the title! Haha. Oh, have you lost your keys?
No, they're inside. Still in the lock.
Losing them would have been probably worse, but yeah. But it definitely sounded stupid enough to say out loud that you had locked yourself out. I've never managed that. I've been locked up. Yes. Long time ago. Was it uni? I think it was uni. Or maybe high school even. One or the other. Basically... You know what? I will not explain that to you. How exactly. But I've been locked up, basically. Yeah. I couldn't open the door from the inside despite having the key. Because, well... in certain ways, you can basically lock it completely when you shut the door from the outside. Same you can do from the inside. If you do a little tricky doodles, it is impossible to open the door from the outside where you lock it from the inside. But you know that for sure. Anyway.
A brilliant move, I know.
It can happen to anyone. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Do you need help?
A nice roundhouse kick directly at my lock would be cool.
I'm afraid I've stopped going to my taekwondo practice too early.
He chuckled and you couldn't help but smile a little.
I've called the locksmith and he's coming over, but thank you for asking. I just wish he would arrive faster. I was told he's gonna take more than 1 hour to come here, and until then I might be frozen.
I just poke out and a shiver ran up your back.
But are you going to wait out here for him?
I know yet. I could go to the convenience store around the corner, sit down there and wait, but that dude who works there...
He's pretty creepy, yeah.
Exactly. You've noticed it too, right? I'm still figuring out what to do.
He looked at you for a couple of seconds, as if he considered something.
Would you like to come in and wait for the locksmith at my place?
Huh?
I mean, you said he'll take a while to come. You can stay in my apartment and warm up until he's there. I mean, here.
Is he really inviting me in?
I didn't expect him to suggest that, and the thought caused a warm sensation to spread across your cheeks.
I mean, it's already really late. You probably want to go to sleep or have something else to do.
Yeah, sure. Release some tension, maybe.
All my extremely important 4 in the morning plans can be put off until later, don't worry. It's really fine. I was going to sleep right now anyways. However, if you don't feel comfortable coming in and that's the problem, I completely understand. Feel free to decline.
Oh, man.
The concept of going to a stranger's house so late didn't suit you. Understandable. But he wasn't really a stranger, was he? Or was he? I'll be honest, I'd be waiting on a staircase. I would not enter the house of my neighbor. You didn't know each other that well, but he lived in the apartment literally next to yours and he seemed like a nice person. There was no reason to deny a nice invitation like that, especially when you truly didn't want to stay outside with that weather. Not to say that he was also very charming. Sure.
If it's really not the problem, I would like that. Thank you very much, Kian.
Don't mention it. I just need to bring this downstairs if you don't mind.
He lifted the garbage bag that he was still holding.
Would you like to go inside already? I can open the door for you and I will be back in a second.
I can just wait here, it's okay.
He nodded and quickly went downstairs. Plot twist. The stairs were in ice, covered with ice, and he slipped, smashed his head, and Dude, I don't know, it spoke too better, so... Of course, thoughts like that are crossing my mind. After he put the bag in one of the garbage cans next to the building, he walked back up. Taking out a small bundle of keys from the pocket of his jacket, he grabbed one of them. You stood held awkwardly next to him as you waited for the door to be opened. From the proximity to him, you could see his dark green hair decorated with several snowflakes from his quick trip to the ground floor. It looked beautiful. Trying not to stare, you looked away. After unlocking the door, he turned to you and gestured for you to enter first.
Please.
As you walked into his apartment, the first thing you noticed was how warm it was. So comfortable, in contrast to the cold outside. There was also a very good smell in the air. You don't know exactly what it was, but it was sweet. Kian took off his shoes and left them neatly in the entryway. Nice. Hanging his jacket afterwards. He put his keys on a small tray. It looked like it was made out of the blue crystal. You bent down to take off your snow-damp sneakers, feeling relieved to finally get rid of them.
Should I leave my shoes outside? They're a little wet.
Eh? You can just put yours next to mine.
You did as he suggested and put your jacket away as well. Turning around, you took a look at his apartment. It was the same size as yours. And had the same layout, although the way he had arranged the furniture made the space seem a little larger. I'm digging this place. Bookcase, crap ton of books. Yo, a vinyl player, yeah. That is something I would like to have. But vinyls are expensive. A freaking lava lamp. Never had one. I don't know why. For a guy, he has surprisingly a lot of greenery here. I like that kind of lamp as well, sort of. Do not know why. I kind of digging this. I don't know if I'm digging the L-type sofas though. I feel like that actually takes way too much space. But then again, maybe he's an outgoing person and invites a lot of people around, so that would make sense. For me, it wouldn't make sense. Anyway.
Please make yourself at home.
You thanked him with a note and sat down on the sofa. Kian sat down on the other side, giving you plenty of room to yourself. Wait, on the other side? You're telling me it's not L, but like a C-shaped sofa? Dude.
If you don't mind me asking, why are you still awake? Usually most people are asleep by now.
Cause I'm an owl. You attempt to avoid silence before it even started. For a second, he seemed a little surprised that you had started a conversation with a question about him.
Let's just say that my sleep isn't the best. I often have insomnia.
Yeah, me too. And I describe insomnia as playing games to late hours.
And today is one of those days, imagine?
Yeah. At the beginning it really bothered me, but I've learned to deal with it, well, over the years. Instead of struggling for hours, trying to sleep, I just go and do other things until I feel tired.
Fair enough.
Which turns out to be useful for my work. I end up finishing a lot of projects when I can't sleep.
Over the years, you said? I can imagine having insomnia for so long. I'm always very irritated when I can't sleep and I feel like crap the next day. I think the only good thing about staying awake is that at night everything feels slower and calmer.
Yeah, no one makes any noises. No one gets in your way. Yeah.
The peace at night is indeed nice.
But why do you use this time when you can't sleep to work? Do you work overtime in the early hours? What do you work with?
Realized how nosy you sounded, but your curiosity was great. He chuckled at the bombardment of questions.
I'm a video editor.
Let's go. You raised your eyebrows. Which even makes more sense now that he actually kind of works at night with that. Again, peace and quiet. You don't have any noises that might disturb you while doing so. For a sound editing, while you do video editing, that's super important, I'd say. I might not be the best at this, but yeah. Editing during day is kinda a pain, because there are, again, sounds that might disturb you. Again, I'm like an amateur level anyway, so...
Anyway, some of the projects are more complex, others have shorter deadlines, so that extra time is welcome. I finished several jobs when I couldn't sleep.
I see. What kind of videos do you work on?
A bit of everything, really. I've worked on music videos, damn. Short films, damn. Productions for events, damn. As a freelancer, I'm open to different proposals.
Huh, that's actually very cool. You look like you work with something creative.
I thought you'd say I was more of a computer science guy or so.
It could also be. But what you do now already sounds fitting for some reason. Do you like your job?
Yes. Sometimes it's a bit stressful, of course. Dealing with difficult clients can test your patience.
Yeah.
But it is generally very fun. I like being able to use my creativity. If you'd like, I can show you something that I have edited later.
Oh, sure, I would love to see it.
I wonder if he ever worked on something that I've seen before. Sounds exciting.
What about you? What do you do?
If someone asked you this question in the presence of your mother, the situation would have been a little awkward. Yeah, ugh. Wait. Why would it be awkward, girl, for you? To her, saying that you work in a bar sounds like you're telling people you're a stripper. What? Even for you only serve drinks to customers from behind the counter. Why would that sound to... What? What? Your mother has some weird ideas. Offense very meant. But what? There was absolutely nothing wrong with the job. It paid your bills and nothing weird ever happened to you there. Yeah? Nice.
I'm a bartender at the Lemon Ginger downtown. The perfect job for someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Heh.
Yeah?
So you haven't tried the drinks you make?
I used to, when I was learning how to mix them. Nowadays I don't.
Please tell me you can do cool tricks while mixing.
You should see me juggling the liquor bottles.
He laughed, seeming satisfied with your response.
And I'm also studying journalism.
Nobody likes today's journalists for...
At Syrian University.
You look like you'd make a good journalist. Hopefully not the garbage journalist that's working all of those newspapers in 21st century.
Thank you. My 9-year-old self was looking forward to that.
My 9-year-old self probably had other plans for myself.
Yeah. My 9-year-old self was like, I'm gonna be a footballer. And then like my 16-year-old self was like,
you know what? I hate football. I'll quit it.
Regret every single day quitting that. There was a smile on his face, but he felt like that sounded a little off somehow. Before he had a chance to think more about it, he suddenly stood up from the couch.
I'm sorry, what a bad host I am. I haven't offered you anything yet.
That's totally fine.
Would you like something to drink? Coffee? Tea?
I already have the tea, thank you. The narrator over here doesn't need anything. Don't worry about me.
Sure, I love coffee. Ugh. But right now, tea would be great.
Yes.
What do you like? I have fennel, chamomile, mint, wild berries.
Ooh.
Oh, the last flavor is my favorite.
Oh. To be fair, like, flavored teas are good.
Wild berries would be great.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Tick, 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 tick.
As he headed for the kitchen and you were alone in the living room, you couldn't help but to yawn. You had such a long day. The darkness seemed to become heavier by the minute.
Around this time I would have had a hot shower, or even better, a bath, and be in my pajamas under the blanket. How I miss my bed!
It seemed that being locked out of your apartment intensified the desire to be there even more. You shook your head to yourself. While you were waiting for Kian, you remained seated on the couch, but your eyes wandered around his living room, exploring it a little. The lights hit at the entrance living room and small dining room created such a nice ambience. You did not expect to see how organized everything was. Kian's place threw the stereotype of guys' apartments being messy out of the window. Oi! My apartment is not messy either, goddammit. You hear me? No mess in here. I live, yeah. Surprise, surprise. To be quite fair, I'm not the type of person that makes bed after I get up. That's the only place that would be like maybe a bit messy, but other than that, not really. Anyway, and it even made you feel a bit ashamed of your own apartment.
Man, I need to do some deep cleaning this weekend.
You remember that even 2 months after moving into your new place, there were still things to tidy up, furniture and appliances to buy. At that time you had just moved out of your parents' house and barely had enough money to support yourself. It wasn't easy, but for the sake of your inner peace and freedom from your parents' overbearing control, you'd do it all over again. Makes sense. And while lost in your thoughts, you looked at one of his bookshelves. Oh, wait. I didn't notice that earlier. He has the freaking Russian babushka, whatever it was called. You know, what was that called? Whatever. But inside it's a smaller one, inside even smaller, and so on and so on. Anyway, you wonder what he liked to read.
No way!
In one of the shelves, a particular object caught your eye. Don't tell me it's what I just noticed. It is what I just noticed. Your eyes widened in surprise when you saw a little Matryoshka doll there.
The fact that this is actually the same thing that I noticed a second ago.
You couldn't see it up close because you were still on the couch, but from where you were sitting, it looked very similar to the one you have on your nightstand. Oh. Oh.
She's just like my Angelina.
The little doll was so precious to you that you gave her a name. She was a gift from your grandmother from one of her trips many years ago. One of your most beloved objects in the world, and your neighbor happened to have one too.
What a coincidence!
Huh. Huh. I wonder if I should be thinking something suspicious about that. The sound of approaching footsteps made you turn your face in the direction, and you saw Kian come back into the room. He carefully placed a teapot and 2 cups on the coffee table and turned to you. The sweet aroma of the tea filled the air. Sugar?
Yes? No thanks.
Correct approach. He took the pot and delicately poured the tea into the porcelain cups. I mean, especially you went with the wild berry tea. Why would you use sugar with it? Ridiculous.
What a wonderful smell.
Very nice, isn't it? I always drink it when I'm working late.
Funny how I didn't drink tea before. I only started when I got into uni and gradually came to love it.
Remarked, observing the steam rising from the dark liquid.
I've always loved it.
Same. He carefully took one of the cups.
But it can take time to fall in love with something different than what you're used to.
He held the cup for you on his saucer, locking eyes with you.
You blinked. The way he spoke and looked at you. You felt your face becoming warmer.
Receiving the tea with a quiet "thanks," you looked away from him before you lost your cool. Did he flirt with you, girl?
Nah, that wasn't it. Pull your shit together, Sallie.
Trying your best to ignore the warmth on your face and the quicker pounds on your chest, you focused on the cup in front of you. The hot beverage had a beautiful intense reddish purple color. You sipped tentatively.
It tasted more delicious than it smells.
I'm glad you like it. I prepared a blend of herbs and fruits myself.
No freaking way, you blend your own tea.
So you can mix drinks and I can't make my own tea?
Touché.
Another one of my late night activities.
What a protective insomnia you have.
Not always, but thank you. I can prepare a package for you if you'd like.
Normally this wouldn't be a situation where you would say,
Don't worry about it.
out of politeness, but it was so delicious you actually wanted to have more of it later.
Oh, I'd love to.
As the two of you kept talking, you didn't even feel the time passing by. Kieran was a greater company than you expected, and you found yourself genuinely having fun just drinking tea together and chatting. He was easy to talk to. You liked that. He told you a little about his story and how he came to live there, which made you intrigued to know more about his past. And before you knew it, you opened up as well. You told him how you decided to study journalism, although your parents weren't happy with the decision. Again, the opinion of parents on what you want to study doesn't matter. They might give you the ideas, what they think is a good choice and so on. But in the end, it is your own decision. So, yeah. And he shared your vision about doing what you truly want, even the cost of not fulfilling other people's expectations. Yeah, you don't live to fulfill other people's expectations. You live to fulfill, in a way, your own expectations. Come on. Anyway, you wondered if he also had troubles with his family. If he even had a family. But then, even though you were enjoying the conversation, you felt very tired. Ooh. To the point that your eyes felt heavier by the minute.
Hey, Sallie!
Yeah?
Would you excuse me for a minute? I need to use the bathroom.
Ah, of course.
As he went away, you posed your palms against your face.
Stay awake, the locksmith will find me here soon!
However, tiredness seemed to be much stronger than your willpower at that moment. You wondered why his couch was so comfortable, why you felt yourself slightly sinking into your seat, and if this was how quicksand feels when you get trapped in it, then just for a second you closed your eyes. Uh-oh. Drifting away before you could even notice. But that didn't feel right. You should not be sleeping! Wake up, Sallie! You still opened your eyes, feeling groggy. The feeling was the same as when you take a nap after school as a child and wake up at night, completely disoriented. You need a little time to fully come back to your senses and remember where you were.
Keys, please! My keys! My keys! The locksmith! The locksmith!
You immediately searched for your phone to see what time it was. As you grabbed it and turned, the screen on your eyes went white. You had passed out for 2 hours. 2 entire hours. That couldn't be true. In a jump, you got back on your feet, looking around for Kian. And with perfect timing, your neighbor showed up at the living room, looking as if he'd just come from the kitchen.
Kian, locksmith, I fell asleep and... The guy's probably already gone. I wasn't there. There was somebody here and I see you on the way.
Sallie.
What am I supposed to do now? I call somebody wait all over again.
Sallie, please calm down.
He put aside the cup he was holding and walked over to you.
Don't worry. I've already taken care of it.
Hey, you what?
When he arrived, I was there, so I talked to him myself. The service is already done. We've got your keys back.
He went to the dresser in the hallway, and from the blue tray where he keeps his apartment keys, he took something else. And walking back to you, he put it in your hands. Oh, Dango! That's cute. You looked down to his back pocket, just seeing the familiar keychain. There was no doubt that those were your keys.
You finally had them back.
Oh my god, thank you so much. But I don't understand. You worked it out by yourself. Why didn't you wake me up? I mean, shite. I'm sorry, I'm not saying it was your duty to wake me up, but I should have fallen asleep in the first place. And that was absolutely stupid. I don't know what happened to me. I was so tired. That's so embarrassing.
Hey, it's all perfectly fine. Don't stress over it. I noticed how tired you were earlier, so when I came back to the room and saw you, I couldn't bring myself to wake you up. I thought it would be fair to let you get some rest. So that I didn't call you when the locksmith arrived.
You took a deep breath to collect yourself.
You shouldn't be apologizing. I'm the one who actually caused this. You've done a lot to help me. I really appreciate that.
Falling asleep on your neighbor's couch the first time you visited him wasn't necessarily how you wanted things to go. But it seemed like everything was out of your control tonight.
I hope the service was at least quick and... Oh my god! You paid the guy yourself, didn't you? How much did he charge you? I'm so sorry you had to deal with this. Please tell me how much I owe you.
He just chuckled.
Don't worry, it wasn't that expensive.
Alright, but how much was it?
You don't need to worry about it.
Come on! God damn it! Kian, tell me I need to pay you.
You don't need. The one who invites space. It's clear at all.
What the heck is this supposed to mean? I'm not gonna let you pay for the locksmith. This makes no sense.
You were in disbelief about the situation. It was your responsibility, not his.
You know what? I have a better idea. You can invite me for coffee later, then we'll call it even.
Coffee? Like a date?
And again he got you off guard. The way he curled up his lips and said it so naturally made you feel a certain type of way. And before you noticed, the words made their way out of your mouth.
Sounds nice.
Then we have a deal.
But I just don't think it's fair for exchange. You'd have to drink like more than 10 coffees for me to pay you back what I owe you.
Make it 20.
Ha!
I'm joking. I think it's fair enough.
This guy.
And before I forget, there is something else for you.
He picked up a small package and handed it to you.
Your tea.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
He'd actually picked up some of the tea to give to you. It was so nicely packaged.
Well,
Holding up the package, you smiled.
I better get going. You've already enjoyed your hospitality more than enough. Got my keys back and even a gift. Now you can have your peace again. Thank you so much for helping me out.
You smiled to him, truly grateful.
It was always a pleasure. Have a nice restful night, yeah?
You too.
Despite the unexpected nap, you still felt exhausted. Going home and sleeping on your bed was all you wanted. And you hoped that with you being gone, maybe he would be able to get some sleep as well. And so you went to the entrance, grabbed your jacket and put on your shoes. They were still damp, but you didn't mind, you were almost home. When you were ready to leave, he walked to the door and held it open for you.
Good night, Sallie.
Good night, Kian, yes.
Despite the cold from outside, you still felt warm. Walking down the corridor to your own apartment felt great. And the relief to open the door even more.
Thank God.
You practically kicked your sneakers off your feet, hang up your jacket up in the hallway and walked inside. God damn, you didn't show me the room. I was just curious about the matryoshka. And going over to the room, you put aside the tea you got from the neighbor before taking your phone out. Looking at the time displayed on the screen, you mentally calculated how long you would be able to sleep. You were not happy about the result. It made you wonder if it would be feasible to not go to your first class in the morning and get some decent sleep. And before you went to the bathroom to get yourself ready to the bed, you stopped and took your phone again. You were thankful that Keen helped you with everything, but you still couldn't come to terms with the fact that he had paid for the service. It made no sense. The idea of buying him coffee was really sweet, and you were looking forward to seeing him again. But you hated the feeling of owing people money, even when they assured you that you didn't have to pay them back. I do understand that. So deciding that you would indeed pay him back next time you met, whether he'd like it or not, you impulsively called the locksmith's number again. You thought that if he doesn't want to tell you how much it was, you can just find out yourself. After a few rings, the same lady from earlier answered the phone. You identified yourself to her, said that the locksmith service was carried out for you a bit ago and that you would like to know how much it cost. Maybe it sounded a little weird, so you told her that someone else paid for you.
1 second, please.
She seemed to be checking something.
Ah. Well, it didn't cost anything since you cancelled the service.
Say what? The annoyance in her tone was clear.
Excuse me? I must say that our guy was not happy about driving all the way there for nothing. He was already in your neighborhood when he received a call calling it off. I'm sorry, but I don't understand it. He came here and opened the door. I never called it off. Your boyfriend did. My boyfriend? Yes. He said that you guys had found a spare key, managed to open the door, and that the work would no longer be necessary.
Your stomach twisted. Oh, fuck.
Look, miss, I suggest not doing something like this again. Be sure of the work being needed before call, cause nobody wants to have their time wasted.
Oh, she's pissed.
I understand. My sincere apologies for the inconvenience.
You hang up the call. That bastard. For a lingering moment, you stayed in silence, holding the phone in your hand. Until you put it in the pocket of your pants and walked out of your bedroom. You went to where you had left your shoes, putting them on again. Your jacket stayed on the hanger, you didn't even bother taking it. And grabbing your keys, you walked out, going to Kian's apartment. Ooh. You had to pay your neighbor a visit again earlier than you thought. You rang the doorbell. It took a moment. Kian opened the door. He stood there and looked at you with surprise before smiling.
Hey! I thought you already be sleeping.
Completely ignoring what he said, you just walked into his apartment. Hey?
Sallie, is everything alright? So what did
you do that for?
Seemingly confused, he turned to you, trying to get a look at your face.
What are you talking about?
Let's go, Sallie! You grabbed him by the neck and pushed him against the wall.
I just found out what you did with the locksmith. How the fuck did you open my door?
Your fingers around his throat were squeezing it. He looked like he couldn't breathe.
That was a nice play that you've pulled out there. Really fooled me.
Your voice was cold. Your tone was unrecognizable. Realizing that you were choking him, you loosened the hold of your fingers on his neck just enough so that he could still breathe. He pulled in sharp breath.
Look, Kian, I don't know what was on your mind when you decided to do that, but I will tell you something.
You could feel the warm air of his desperate breath against your skin.
If you think you can pull out some kind of sick, dirty trick, stalk me, get in my apartment, whatever it is that you want, think again. I assure you I can destroy you.
And as if your words ignited something else in him. His eyes started to look different. And a sudden smile appeared on his lips.
You know, Sallie, that was much better than I expected.
Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? God damn it. What happened next? I need to know. God damn it. Dude. You can't leave on a cliffhanger like that. How dare you? This is when things were getting to the good part. Fuck. To be fair, for going back and beating the crap out of your neighbor after finding out they, you know, basically... I mean, the guy basically must have taken the phone out of her pocket or whatever. Call the place again. Cancel it. Break into her apartment. Also, might not have been the first time he broke in. Again, that matryoshka that she noticed, right? As something that is looking exactly like the one she has. Yeah, sounds like this guy might be not giving the same vibe that the guy in the convenience store was giving her. But it doesn't mean he's not a creepy ass piece of garbage. That's right. This guy clearly had some nasty motive. And who knows, you know, maybe there was some sleepy powder in that tea that he gave to her as well. At this point, I guess in a way expect the unexpected, to be quite fair. Yeah, I'm so never trusting my neighbors. Even if it might seem like I'm an asshole for them, but who cares? Good game for. Left on a cliffhanger for. Yeah, that's sad. I wish to knew. I wished I could knew. I wish I could know, actually. I wish I could know what happened afterwards. Did he manage to escape her grasp, or did she choke him until there was no more breath for him left? Maybe. I'll believe that she managed to do that. Yeah. That's what I will believe in. The creep disappears to the disappears, and another creep would disappear from this place. Yeah. Anyway, that was a fun game, a little fun game from Edge.ear. As per usual, link in the description. You can get it yourself. Oh, it's free. It's completely free. Not like pay whatever you want, but it's a free game. So go and at least leave a rating to it. And so on. Time to end it. The message for today is don't be a creep. And also avoid the creeps. And, well, have a wonderful day. Consider liking video, subscribing and so on as well. Always super appreciated. I am out. Bye bye.